If you're helping people overcome their limited beliefs about what they believe about money, that's called financial consulting. So now, out of storms and out of natural disasters, what happens? Typically, people lose jobs. Sometimes people lose their homes. Sometimes because of the loss of jobs or employment and stuff like that. There's some financial consulting opportunities that are there to help people rebuild. So you have to get yourself in alignment, right? Even if there's not a contract out there that says financial consulting, maybe it says rebuilding Atlanta, helping people revitalize, or the revitalization of Atlanta. You got to know anytime that there's a revitalization of something that's happening, there's definitely going to be some financial piece tied to that revitalization, because it's going to cost to revitalize, right? So maybe you can be a financial consulting on the revitalization plan. You must get into alignment with the opportunities that are out there. What do you mean by that, Dr. K? I'm glad you asked, right? Getting in alignment is like understanding what you have to offer, the value that you bring to the table, and looking at the opportunities that they're saying, here's what we're going to spend money on. So when you have their attention, now you already qualify, but qualifying is not enough. You must get in alignment, which means that if they're saying, here's a service that we're looking for someone to fulfill, here are all the qualified businesses that's gotten our attention. Now, out of this list of businesses that has our attention, which one of you would like to fulfill on these opportunities? And when I say getting in alignment, every single day the government is looking for someone to fulfill on these opportunities. I consider the person who fulfilled on the opportunities that exist as a problem solver. So let's just say, for example, maybe there's a storm somewhere, right? Let's just say there's a storm down south, and out of the storm came the flood, and then trees dropped, and some cars were washed away, and all of these things happened because of the storm. If you're a janitorial company who's already gotten the attention of the government, and the opportunity for you to now get in alignment is, okay, so here's where the problem meets the solution, right? Here's where the problem meets the person who can provide the solution, right? So you get to say, okay, I'm a janitorial cleaning company. I see that trees have fallen. So maybe I can either partner with or provide the service of picking up those trees and hauling them away to clean up the street. It's cleaning services, right? So maybe there's some power washing that needs to happen once the floods have gone away, and maybe the streets are like muddy. So now I got to clean up the streets. So that's power washing service. So now I'm getting myself in alignment with the need. So maybe after the flood, there's a bunch of cars that are flipped upside down that has to be hauled away. Maybe as a janitorial cleaning company who can clean that, maybe I can partner with or get in alignment with another business, a towing company, where we can tow these things to the junkyards. So when I say you must align with the need that are out there, find a way to solve a problem. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you're enjoying it. I wanted to take some time to invite you to join me in the GovCon Challenge. The GovCon Challenge takes place once a month, where I invite a bunch of entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs to come and have me teach you the 5 things you must do to pre-qualify your business to land lucrative contracts with the government. So join me in the GovCon Challenge. Click on the link in the description. You'll be glad you did. Join as VIP for exclusive behind-the-scenes information, and you can become a part of the top 1% of entrepreneurs across the nation. Now back to the video you were watching. What I teach my clients is there are problems that the government are announcing every single day. Watch the news, turn it on. They're talking about this is happening, people are crazy, kids are killing themselves. There's all of these problems that they're announcing in the media all the time. And when you, as an entrepreneur, when you're able to think outside the box, yeah, register with FEMA, absolutely, as well. They're looking for people to assist with the disasters, absolutely. So in fact, one of my clients, I'm glad you say that. Hey, Simcat, One of my clients, his name is Remy. He actually registered with FEMA, and he's a photographer. He registered with FEMA, so this is how he was able to think outside the box strategically. He registered with FEMA for those natural disaster contracts that come out of like those things, right? And he was able to not only take pictures of the disasters because that's historical data, that's historical documentation, but also he partnered with a company that was able to go pick up trees. So this is how I know this stuff works, is because not only have I done it, my clients are doing it, and it just works, right? So these are not things that I'm just making up out of thin air. This is real life scenarios. These are real ways that you can actually leverage your expertise to open up opportunities. And so when you actually present your business as a problem solver, there's opportunities unlimited, right? The problem is sometimes like we're stuck in our own minds, right? So say for instance, here's a prime example of a person that's stuck in their own mind, right? You present yourself, maybe you've gotten alignment, maybe you've gotten the attention of the government because you've crossed all the t's and you dotted all the i's, and now your paperwork is in order, and so that becomes attractive to the government. So the next step is, if you get stuck here, you cannot move on to the next step beyond that, right? So here's where most people get stuck. I've seen this happen, and I see it happen often. A person could come and say, I'm a mindset coach. What is a mindset coach? How do you align mindset coaching with the opportunities that the government is saying, here's the problem, and here's who we need to solve, or here's what the problems are that we need to be solved, right? So if you're like, I'm a mindset coach, and you're stuck on mindset coach, you have to dig a little deeper. Somebody type that in the chat. You have to dig a little deeper. What do you help people do with their mind? I help them understand the problems that they have so they can find solutions. So maybe that's mental health consulting, right? Or I help them understand how to think about money as a tool rather than money as something that they hold on to or cherish. Money is a tool, in case you didn't know. That's a whole nother training I'm gonna talk about later. It's a whole nother training. But how to think about money being a tool to actually make more money, right? As opposed to money being something that you're supposed to hold on to. You have to let it go. It's called the principle of reciprocity, right? You get what you give. You have to plant to harvest. You have to plant money to harvest the money, but that's a whole nother topic again. But what do you really do, right? If you're helping people overcome their limited beliefs about what they believe about money, that's called financial consulting. So now, out of storms and out of natural disasters, what happens? Typically, people lose jobs. Sometimes people lose their homes, sometimes because of the loss of jobs, over employment, and stuff like that. There's some financial consulting opportunities that are there to help people rebuild. So you have to get yourself in alignment, where even if there's not a contract out there that says financial consulting, maybe it says rebuilding, right? Rebuilding Atlanta, helping people revitalize, or the revitalization of Atlanta. You got to know, anytime that there's a revitalization of something that's happening, there's definitely going to be some financial piece tied to that revitalization, because it's going to cost to revitalize, right? So maybe you can be a consultant, financial consulting on the revitalization plan. But what are we going to do to help people access capital? Maybe there's some credit repair services that can come into play. Maybe there's some investment strategies and some retirement strategies and some things that you can actually consult them on within that scope of the contract, right? So you got to think outside the box.